If you're into producing music and photography, you might be interested in today's podcast. My guest does it for a living, and we talk about that. But real quick, I know I do my introduction a little bit differently. I am John. I'm the host of the Work Talk podcast, and Work Talk podcast are my conversations with friends in the Bay Area around their work. We talk about their jobs, their business, their personal projects, their day job, and a project on the side. And I like talking about what people do for work because I don't think it should always be a lame thing or something people complain or dread about. I think work, you can really find a lot of meaning from it. And there's things people do that's really cool. And you're fucking like, that's amazing. And I think when we could do work we enjoy life. In general, we're happier people. The world is a better place. And I want to make productivity cool. I want that little kid who's a troublemaker that watches TV all day to think about making, not just consuming, and being productive to be, hey, this is a cool thing to do. And I keep putting this message out there to do stuff. If you're thinking about starting your own business, if you're thinking about doing that project you're really into, I don't know, whether it's designing furniture, to go do it. Because if you never do, it might be that itch you never scratch. And I think that's where people have a midlife crisis. I digress. That's why I'm into this podcast. And if you're into that too, listen in. My guest is Junior, also known as IDK, and he's a local music producer, photographer. We talk about how he got started, what he does, kind of his daily thing. We talk about his mindset. And later on in the podcast, I reveal some of my ideas on what I'm doing with my podcast and my next steps, because I'm going to do a few things differently. So if I got your attention, listen on, and let me introduce my friend, my guest, IDK Jr. What's up, man? We are live on the Work Talk podcast.
What's up?
I got my boy Junior here, also known as IDK. Hey, tell the listeners, myself, about your work.
So, I am a music producer based out here in the Bay Area. I am also a photographer, and yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah. Day job also, or is it just full-time, those two gigs?
Yeah, full-time, those two gigs. Prior to this, I was working at the refinery over at Rodeo for, I don't know, probably close to 7 years. And then they laid me off once. And during that time, the first time I got laid off, I just took that time to relax. My daughter was probably 2-3 years old at the time. And I figured, it would be a great time to catch up on, raising her and watching her grow. And they actually called me back, and I went back, and they laid me off again. And after the second time,
you're like, what?
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and pursue my dreams, man. Just do what I'm passionate about, and see if I could build a career for myself. And
I read a lot of these articles about people who said, when I got laid off, it was the best experience in my life because now I got to do this. Or do you agree with that too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's dope.
Definitely.
So you're doing your two gigs, the two things you're really into, and that's enough for you to live off on.
Yeah.
Nice.
That, and with the support of my wife, so everything works out.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I got married. Needed her income.
I need that financial support while I'm building.
I know. I need my sugar mama. It's because all my other past guests that I've talked to on this podcast, the ones that have their passion project or acting, they usually have a day job. But in your case, you could go full force on your two passions.
Yeah, honestly, I think I was lucky enough to have been laid off, and I think that was an opportunity for me to kind of build my business while I was still collecting, some form of income. In my case, the form of unemployment.
Fun employment.
Yeah. So I feel like I was lucky enough to actually have that type of support while I was focusing on building my career in music and photography.
Yeah. So you're making income with both gigs.
Yeah.
That's awesome. With photography, you're telling me you do like real estate photography or commercial photography?
Yeah, real estate and product photography are my main forms of photography that I really gravitate towards. I do event photography, engagement photography, and headshots, but um, I just feel like with my talent and my craft, I feel like real estate and product photography is really where I um,
Yeah, like
excel at,
where you blossom. That's
Yeah,
so you do take pictures of products. You work with companies, they hire you,
right,
and you have a specific niche in real estate.
right.
Okay. Weren't you a real estate agent at one point?
No, I was actually studying for it.
Oh, okay. You didn't did you but
Yeah,
you didn't take the test?
dude, I failed. I failed the test, and when was this? This was years ago.
Right.
And I remember after I failed the test, I was still in college, and I after that I just got so discouraged. I was like, "Fuck it,
Yeah. All right, next.
dude." For real, like, nah, forget it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. That was a side tangent. I just wanted to ask you about that. So you got the
Yeah.
photography, and then how about the music?
The music, man, it's something I've always had in the back of my mind, and it's something like growing up. It's always something that I had a knack for. Like, I've always wanted to create, or I've always wanted to play some type of instrument. And I don't know if you've heard this before, but I wanted to be in band.
Oh
Like,
yeah?
yeah, I was that person. I was like, I should be in band right now, playing the trumpet or banging on some drums or
What
something.
kept you
But
from doing it?
just finances growing up,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I
with
mean,
yeah, with music, is it more just playing instruments, producing music, not necessarily rapping?
yeah, no, I'm not a writer. I don't feel like I have the proper vocals to be a singer or be a rapper or anything like that. But
Hey, remember,
yeah,
listeners, by the way, Junior and I we go way back, we're friends, and we used to hang
yeah.
out at parties. And for those of you who do this, once in a while, when you're a little buzzed and having some fun, you would try to bust the flow.
Oh
And
my God.
hey, but you have pretty good skills.
No. Horrible,
No,
horrible.
you're pretty good, man. I sucked. Man,
Man,
those are the
I
good
couldn't.
times.
Lay's one was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Julian could always get some stuff going on. Lay's
yeah,
one. Lay's one, you guys, listeners. That was my first podcast guest. And Lay's one. Junior and I, we all know each other.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. For a very long time.
Yeah. So the music is you producing music, making your own music, not managing,
Mhm.
not doing management, right? Like managing
No,
artists. All right.
no, not right now. Maybe in the future, but for the most part, right now, all I pretty much do is compose a beat or a song and email it out to a few people that I network and have built relationships with, and from there, it's in their hands. It's whoever they can um, present it to, and whether or not it lands on a placement.
Yeah. So you've actually
Yeah.
had some of your beats and music sold.
Sold personally, but
Mm.
out of the music that I've sent out, I haven't landed like a major placement with like Drake or SZA or whoever,
Yeah. That'd be
But
fucking dope if that happened.
dude, I would I would retire.
Yeah, I feel like with music, it's like so hard to get into. But if you, and I don't know much about the music business or industry, but it's so hard to get into. But once you kind of get momentum, snowball effects.
Oh yeah, everyone's going to be hitting you up. I've actually heard a ton of stories of people who are in the industry saying, like, once I landed that first placement with like Dipset or somebody, they immediately quit their job because from that moment on, they're just getting nonstop calls and emails from people wanting more of what they offered to those people in the first place. So
Yeah. How would you define your
that's
music?
pretty cool. Like genre wise, or
Yeah, genre wise, what's the flavor?
uh, I'd say it's in line with what the kids are listening to nowadays. It's modern day hip hop, R&B, um, very vibey, wavy type of
Yeah.
feel. I love ambient and like really percussive sounds.
Yeah.
Just I like to add certain things in there that are like tasteful to your ears and like just pop out at you out of nowhere.
Yeah. I never did this on the podcast, but I'm gonna go. I want to see if I could jump in right now and and see one of your things. I know on Instagram you post some stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I could do this. I've never done this on the podcast before, but I want to try.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Let's see. Let's go on your Instagram and see something.
Okay.
Yeah, is there a specific one that you want me to share?
On IG?
Yeah, I know on my story I shared one of the things you were doing. Let me see. Instagram, and it's IDK Junior underscore music, right?
Yep.
All right, let's play one of these. This
Oh
is
man, that's cool.
this is the one I'm looking at. IDK Junior underscore music, Junior's Instagram. I think this is the what was the one I was playing. I'm just gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick a random one.
Yeah, just pick anyone. It's all good.
Let's listeners. Let's take a little flavor into Junior's music.
For the vibe.
Dude,
I
that's
think that's
sick,
the one
man.
you picked.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one I picked. That's the one I put on my IG story. I think I put that in there because it had your hands.
Oh, tight.
Your hands got me, man. That's cool. That's cool. I love
See,
seeing.
that's
What's that machine called where you're hitting all the buttons?
it's called the push two. I actually have it right here. Let me see if I can angle this down for you guys. So this right here is a push two, and I believe it's made by Ableton for Ableton, and Ableton is actually the DAW that I use, the DAW.
All right. And then you preset like certain sounds for each button.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it's really cool too because it acts like a keyboard as well.
Yeah. So you could really have
It's
all kinds of sound.
Yeah. So, but the whole keyboard feature is super hard to explain because I'm not even sure how it really works. I just fuck with it.
Yeah, you just got the few things you have, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, music's experimental, so why not, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So tell me a little bit about your craft and tell me how you like first started getting into this and what like a daily thing is for you in your work.
Okay, so um, let's see. When I first started producing, it was in high school, and I got introduced to a software called Fruity Loops, which
Yes.
everybody knows, and I'm pretty sure everybody's used before. But yeah, I feel like ever since I got my hands on uh, that particular software, that's when it just my mind blew up, and I was like, shit, I can do this. Like this is so dope. I can
Yeah.
create whatever I want by clicking little buttons or pressing my regular keyboard. But yeah, I feel like ever since then is when it really took off. And that was roughly around high school.
Yeah. And then how about so Fruity Loops takes you here, and then what's a day? What's like a Tuesday for you?
A Tuesday, man. Let's see. I wake up in the morning, I get coffee, and I sit at my desk for a few minutes, just browsing the internet or kind of thinking about, um, am I gonna do I want to create something new, or do I want to focus on something that I could possibly mix down and get done and just emailed out? So that's pretty much how my day starts.
Right. Do you have some type of ritual to get into that creative mode? Because I assume you have like writer's block, but in your like creative blocks, do you have like a ritual
Yeah,
you'll do to get yourself in the groove and just start like and you're like fucking just like making the dopest shit?
dude. You know what? I actually like when I had like creator's block, sometimes I would listen to new music, or I would hop on SoundCloud and listen to what other producers are doing and just trying to get a feel, or like listen to something new that I can incorporate into my craft. And I feel like by doing that, I was kind of blocking myself from becoming fully creative and becoming like an authentic creative person, like on the boards itself. So what I do now is when I find myself in those situations, stop. I stop what I'm doing, um, and I just don't think about it. And I feel like when you let go of all those pressures, that's when the real creativity actually flows, and that's when I actually create some of the dopest shit.
Yeah, this shit's fire.
Yeah. So yeah, I just try not to overthink, man.
Yeah. So what do you see what's your goal eventually? Where do you want to be?
Um, Short term goal um, is to definitely land placements, um, bigger placements, and I want my brand to be known by, you know, not just the music community, but people who listen to music or who are fascinated with music production.
Yeah, eventually it gets there. Are you more into
Yeah,
the music and or the photography?
I feel like right. I feel like I'm more passionate about my music,
Okay.
but and then photography is second.
Yeah, got it. Do you feel like I feel like the photography is easier to monetize. Like it's easier to get paid for that kind of work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It definitely is because you know you have a client call you, you go out for a job and you get paid the same day.
Yeah.
As far as with
Yeah.
music, you know, depending on how you go about doing your music, because there are people out there who make beats and they sell them online for, you know, a certain amount for a lease, and you can get paid that way. But you know, for me, I kind of want I want my music in the hands of people who can distribute it to the masses.
Yeah, I see. All right, so
And
any listeners listening to this, you want to do collabs, hit up Junior, use his music. You heard a little sample,
hey,
hit them up.
that's what's up.
Hey, let's talk a little really quickly about music, and then I want to ask you some of your like things around your mindset. Uh,
Okay.
big influencers for you with music.
Um, let's see. Jay Dilla, High Tech, Madlib. There's a bunch of people, dude. Kanye, Ryan Leslie. Right now, I'm super digging um, everyone who's a part of Selection, um, Monte Booker, and yeah, there's several other people.
Yeah,
But
damn, I feel
you
hella
know,
square. I don't even know half of those people. But I sometimes I feel like if I hear their stuff, I'm like, oh shit, okay, I did hear it before. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm kind of a Spotify Pandora. I just put it on and I listen, and so I never look at the artist, so I hear all this different music,
you
but I
just
don't know who it is. Yeah,
can't put a name to it.
yeah, yeah. But I appreciate all kinds of different music. So yeah.
That's what's up.
All right. So mindset wise, first let me ask you, could you tell me about a moment in your career that you're most proud of? Whether it was a specific person who got your music or just something. Was there like a moment that really stood out for you?
Yeah, actually, and this actually happened within the past couple years. Um, I tuned into a podcast or it was a live, it was a Instagram live, and I tuned into a podcast called Unquantized Podcast, and it's hosted by Sound Oracle and Triza, and basically it's an area where producers, songwriters, artists can hop on and ask any music related or production related questions, and they'll answer those questions. So I was on that podcast tuning in, and I was answering my questions, or I was actually asking questions. And as time went by, um, they kind of recognized the types of questions I was asking. They seen what I'm currently trying to do and pursue, like and the goals that I'm trying to pursue. And a lot of the times, as of lately, you know, they've been giving me recognition on the live, and for me, that's a huge step in what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah. So you got that shout out from people you respect.
Yeah, and these are, I mean, they're not just I don't want to say like regular people. They are regular people, but they've made a name for themselves in the industry. Like Sound Oracle is a sound designer for Timberland and Polo the Don, and
Mm-hmm.
Triza,
Mm-hmm.
he's also a sound designer as well, and he's created music for Justin Bieber and just a bunch of other people.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
know that guy.
yeah, he's my favorite.
That guy's my favorite. I was about to sing right now, but no, that would be horrible.
Oh shit, you got the voice for it right
I
now.
know I got the raspy voice right now. I lost listeners. I lost my voice, but then one of my coworkers told me, "I like how your voice sounds. It has a jazzy texture." So I'm like, "All right, shit. I'm gonna try to lose my voice as much as I can now." Ladies and
Smokey
gentlemen, I
Robinson.
know. All right, if someone wants to do what you do, what advice would you give them?
Do it.
Just take action.
Yeah, just do it, man. Just
That's
do it.
exactly my last guest, Ami Yoshiko. And you're telling me you listen to her and you really like
Yeah,
that sesh we had. That's exactly the same thing she said. Just do it.
it's true though. Just do it.
What do you
I
think?
mean,
What do you think holds
I
people back? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say that. Like, I feel like the main thing that holds people back is probably they're probably listening to what a lot of other people have done, or what a lot of people around them are saying. So like if they have a goal, you know, like their brother, sister, cousin, friend could be like, "Oh man, that sounds tough,"
Oh, I
or "Are you
see.
sure you're able to do
Making
that?"
it sound like it's way too hard to get
Yeah,
to. And I always feel like they don't have to get to like that top. You don't have to be a freaking Pharrell. They could just be, the Pharrell of their local area or,
yeah, exactly.
20% of it, right?
Yeah, so a lot of it has to do with I guess fear.
Yeah, yeah. So what got you to overcome that fear and just go for it?
Dude, I stopped listening to what everybody was telling me, because for a while I would tell a lot of people like, man, I'm about to be a bomb ass music producer. I'm about to work with Drake. I'm about to work with fucking Jay-Z and Beyonce and shit. And like, they would tell me like, man, that's hella hard. You got to put in hella work. And
And you
then
do,
after a while, I
yeah.
was like,
Yeah, you got to put in
yeah,
that grind, that hustle, just pushing
yeah,
content, making content engaging, creating stuff of
exactly.
value to others. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the beginning, I was like, fuck, it is hard. It is. I'm not sure. I doubted myself a whole lot, but you just you gotta tell yourself, is this really for me? Is this something that I see myself doing in the future? And if it is, then let go of whatever everyone has told you and just stick with that belief that you can actually achieve the goals that you want to attain.
Preaching, preaching. Yeah, and
Yes,
you're getting
sir.
some steam now. You're getting some traction. You're getting some
Yeah,
momentum.
yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So I've had other people reach out to me with collaborations. Some people want to work with me, and I think that's cool. I mean, right now there's certain things that I want to perfect, not really perfect, but focus on before I start doing um, more and more collaborations
Okay.
with other people. But
Oh, like what? What are you trying to work on?
I feel like there's certain aspects in my production that I can enhance, like my mixing, definitely music theory.
Huh.
But yeah,
Hey, tell me a little bit about the technical pieces in regards to music production. So if someone wants to get into that, what's like the tool, software, things they should read to start getting into it?
man, YouTube has everything. If you want to learn
Yeah.
Free Loops, Reason,
School of YouTube,
Ableton,
man. That's I learned so
yeah,
much stuff. There's no excuse for anyone to not be able to do something because there's YouTube.
exactly. Like YouTube, seriously, it's a university. You
Yeah.
can learn anything and everything on YouTube. So, I mean, if you want to get into music production, just YouTube it,
Yeah. So just go
and
from
you'll learn
there.
a whole lot about it. Yeah,
I tell people watch as much video. Watch every single video as you can. Take notes on it and just just start doing it, like you said. But when you do it, because so many people I think have the mentality of like if they're aiming for a target, they're spending forever to aim before they fire. But I think they should aim, fire, and then when you see where you land, then you adjust and fire again. It's like that whole
exactly.
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
And
I think, yeah, I don't feel like not too many people actually do that. I feel like they stay stagnant trying to perfect their aim before they actually shoot.
Yeah, and it never gets done. I
Yeah,
done is better than perfect a lot of times,
yeah,
especially in the beginning. Especially in the
especially in
beginning.
the beginning.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we haven't
so
even we haven't even found our groove yet. We need to
yeah,
do so much
exactly.
stuff to chisel the marble to eventually find out what that thing is.
Yep.
I think the time we should be more of a sniper is when we have a lot of momentum going on and that decision is going to trickle down and make a huge effect. But at this point, it's not. We kind of have to be more of a machine gun than sniper right now.
Right.
Yeah,
That's a good analogy, man.
I know, I just came up with it.
Dang, you're good. Holy shit. When's the book coming out?
Preaching. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm just preaching. That's my whole message with this Work Talk podcast. And I'm starting a vlog about the podcast to
Oh,
provide greater
nice.
context and storytelling around, what this is, my message, which really is all about self-awareness, knowing that there is a lot of meaning in work, and I want work to be a cool thing, not just something people dread over, but it's a cool thing to talk about. And I think if little kids, especially the troublemakers, could start thinking about productivity as a cool thing, dude, like I would like sleep like
Oh,
nicely.
man.
I think that's my
Hell
main
yeah.
goal, especially mainly in this local areas, for people to think about not just consuming, watching TV, playing Fortnite all day, but create also, make Fortnite videos. You're into music, start making music, start testing your
Yeah.
interests. That's what I want people to do. And not everyone wants to be, like what you do and make their own music, but I want people to try it so they can find out for themselves if it is for them. And if maybe just having a job and just enjoying listening to music is fine because they tried doing music producing, but they realize it's not for them, at least they've stepped up to bat and tried, because I've seen so many people depressed, especially at my work,
Mhm.
who are depressed because they never stepped up and tried and tested themselves.
Yeah, that's the worst, man.
Yeah,
That's the worst. Like if this music and photography, if it don't work out for me, at least I can say, you know what? I
I
put my
tried.
all into it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I did it.
At least I tried. I
Yeah.
scratched that itch and I'm not fucking worrying about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's why it's
Yeah.
all about self-awareness to me, and all about
Mm.
knowing where is your ambition, and you got to find out how much does it cost. It might be cheap, it might be high, but you need to know your cost for your ambition. And once you know that cost, you got to go fucking pay for that shit, whether
Hell
it's
yeah.
grinding all day or whether it's
Yep.
just a simple job, but know it. Yeah, and so that's kind of my thing. So
Hell yeah, that's tight.
I'm just ranting.
Hey, let me turn the light on real quick. It's getting dark in
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah. Bring the darkness.
Cool.
I'm gonna.
I hope that's okay.
Yeah, we're wrap. You look good, man.
Awesome. You're handsome.
Thank you. I'm working on it. I use a lot of makeup.
Oh, nice. Let me borrow your foundation.
Hey, what's the? I want to spend some time on the podcast to learn about my guests on a little bit more on a personal level. If there's something, you got your fan base, whatever. If there's something, what is something they don't know about you that you want to share or you're willing to share?
That they don't know about me?
Yeah, or that people usually don't know about you or wouldn't think about you. Like
Um,
you collect Pokemon stickers as a hobby, or
oh
you're fucking
man.
into American Idol and that's your shit.
I actually like I like this season of American Idol. I do watch those shows though. But let's see. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think it's good to give a little
Yeah,
personal flavor. So I'm starting to
yeah.
add that in. Like, do you have a thing
No,
that
that's
you want them
dope.
to know about you? Yeah, something you're into,
Um,
something you're obsessed
see,
about.
I don't think a lot of people know that I actually have a daughter who's turning 5
Not when's her birthday? Oh,
in
you're not
September.
okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. But yeah,
Fatherhood,
um,
man. Hey, let me ask
yeah,
this. I don't
dude.
have a kid, so doing what you're doing, having a kid. So I think time management super important.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think there's still no excuse. Some people say I have a kid, I don't have enough time to do the things I want to do. But if you're just smart with your time, I think you can, right?
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, we all got the same 24 hours in a day, right? So, I mean, it really depends on what you find you're worth doing.
Yeah.
You know, like I know some people who are like, oh, I want to spend quality time with my family. but that quality time to them is them sitting on the couch just watching TV while their kids play on the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
know,
may be
and it's
with
like,
them, but you're not actually spending time
yeah,
with
and it's
them.
like, during that time, during that hour or two that you're spending just sitting there, you can actually put that time towards something that, you want to create for yourself. Like
Yeah.
whether it's a business or a hobby that you want to build or something.
So it's really neat then that you have your line of work where you could be at home and you could see her. And I assume you have some flexibility because you could make your own schedule. So that's a
Yeah,
blessing
yeah.
too.
Totally blessed, dude.
Nice. No
Totally grateful for it, man.
no daycare needed.
Not right now.
Yeah. And fatherhood, that is a job too.
Yeah, it is, man. Full-time job. I mean, it's like juggling two jobs at one time, you know?
Nice, nice.
But it's fun, it's really dope. So like if I'm creating or composing a beat, I'll have my daughter sit with me. She'll be looking at the computer screen like, "What's that?" And I'll explain to her what it does, what all these things are, and at the same time, it's like a refresher for me because it's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
what that
yeah.
does again.
That's
So
nice, man.
it's cool.
So, listeners, not only is he a music producer, local music producer and photographer, but he's a father, a good
Hmm.
friend.
Father figure.
Yeah. But that's it, man. I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate
Cool.
your time, giving my podcast the attention. You guys stay in touch for sure.
Thank you.
I do have some ideas that I want to do. I want my podcast to start having themes. Like right now, I've been doing random talks with random people in the Bay Area with different careers, but eventually I want to have that be one pillar of my podcast. A second pillar I want are what I call the regulars, with people who are working on a project like my podcast, like your music or something, and we get together and we talk freaking like strategy, like what we're doing, what's working for you, is
Oh
Instagram's working for you,
man, I would
like
love that.
straight up just the regulars. And I was thinking about calling it, giving it a title. It might be the regulars, or I might call it the league, or a band of brothers. And it's just a bunch of people who are starting small, like we're in the beginning journey, uh,
Yeah.
and just having a meeting and just recording it and us just talking about what's going on, giving each other advice, encouragement, and just sharing
Hell
fucking
yeah.
like
Dude, I
good
love
stories,
that
bad
idea.
stories. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna
Hell
like try
yeah.
to find a group, and I'm kind of pitching this because I'm thinking maybe if you're open to it, you might be open to a weekly 30-minute chat, be part of the
I would
regulars.
I'm way
Yeah,
down. I would love that.
and then
And
and
actually,
yeah, we get more
I'm kind of
detail.
happy that you brought that up because, another thing is I dabble in affiliate marketing or internet marketing. So, like if you want to talk about like, different strategies on marketing or like advertising or something, I feel like
Yes.
that's something that I could really contribute to and
See,
provide value.
exactly, like even that, like I don't know too much about, and we could really go into the tactics of things
Yeah.
because a lot of these talks are with different guests, and I'm learning about their fields, whether it's acting, cosplay, um, music, but then we never, and my mindset, but we never talked into the tactics of it all. And I think that's what the
Right.
regular show is going to be. And I think it's going to be for people who are in the same shoes as us, almost listening to our conversation and being part of it, and being like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, or oh, I totally know what you mean. I didn't know what website to use too. Do I use WordPress, Wix, Squarespace? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Or like,
Like, what do I do? What does SEO
yeah,
mean?
why is my video blurry on Instagram? Or what software do you use? Or do you need a DSLR? Like talking about
Uh,
that beginning level fucking shit. That's gonna be the
for
regular. So that's
real.
gonna be a second pillar of my podcast. And then the third pillar is kind of for regular, like people with regular jobs who's all about work-life balance. And we talk about meaning in work, balance. And I like to show that spectrum of ambition because I think that's
Yeah.
important too. And so I'm going to have that. And I might have a fourth pillar where I talk to managers and recruiters talking about like job trends, what's going on. So I'm thinking about having these four pillars going on.
You're
Yeah.
a genius, bruh.
I kind of copied off Joe
Man.
Rogan because Joe Rogan's podcast, he has MMA guys, UFC guys, he has
Yeah.
scientists, he has his comedian buddies, and he'll have like a fourth random one sometimes. But he always has these like nice package themes, and I'm gonna have
Yeah.
minds like that too.
I
So
like
so
it, dude.
I kind of pitched this to you because I'm thinking if you're open to being one of the regulars. So
I'm way open. Hell yeah. Let me know. I'll definitely make time for it, dude.
All right, listeners, you just heard my future ideas for this podcast, and you just heard a live, natural conversation about a possible collab.
Yeah.
All right.
That's dope.
So now I'll go ahead and end the podcast. And thank you so much, Junior, for spending time. Anyone who wants to connect, do it. I have his all his information in my notes, whatever shit I put it on, whatever channel you're listening or watching this on.
Awesome.
But that's it, man. I'll stay in touch, and I think I'll see
Cool.
you at one of the family parties, right, Alex?
Yeah, very soon, man.
I'll see you then. All right, listeners,
Cool,
take care. My next guest is a tech passionista. She has a podcast. She works with startups. I'm really interested in what she does because in the Bay Area, tech is a huge thing, and I really want to pick her brain on it. So we're really going to get into the tech kind of talk. Her name is Sandra Ponce de Leon, and that is on Sunday, and I'll be talking to her then. That's my next guest. Once again, thanks again, Junior. Listeners, take care. Have a good one. If you got an idea, go fucking do it. That's my advice. That's Junior's advice. That's it.
There you go.
All right, guys. Later.
Peace.